Ladies and gentlemen, honored members of government, I stand before you today not just as a representative of my community, but as a voice for those who have been silenced by the very systems that you have sworn to protect. You may not have lived through segregation, but you've seen the effects. You've seen it in the eyes of a child who does not have the resources to thrive. You've seen it in the prison systems. You've seen it on the headlines. You've seen it when another name trends for the worst reason imaginable. I grew up hearing firsthand from my grandmother what it was like living through segregation. She told me how she couldn't swim in the community pool down the street just because she was, you guessed it, black. Imagine telling a child that they cannot swim, not because it's not safe, but because their skin might contaminate pool water. But what stuck with me the most was she said, things didn't really change. They just got sneakier. That, my friend, is systemic racism. It's racism in a suit and tie. Racism with Wi-Fi access. Racism that is learned to work a 9 to 5 and how to file taxes. Hey, I'm not up here to point fingers. I'm here to show you that the systems that we uphold, whether intentional or passively, are harming millions of Black Americans every single day. Now let's talk numbers, shall we? You see, some of you might be oblivious. You mean well, but hesitant to take the next step. But this isn't time for hesitation, this is time for action. According to the Brookings Institution, predominantly Black districts receive $23 billion less funding annually than predominantly white ones, even if they serve the same number of students. That means fewer resources, fewer teachers, outdated books, and usually unusable buildings. Now let's talk healthcare. According to the CDC, Black women in the United States are 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related causes than white women. And that is not genetics. That is systemic neglect. Racism in medicine isn't new, but it's still killing us. In the criminal justice system, the NAACP reports that Black Americans are 5 times more likely to be incarcerated than white Americans. In some states, it's 10 times. That is not because we commit more crimes, it's because we are policed more, prosecuted harder, sentenced longer. Same actions, different outcomes. That is systemic, even in democracy. Yes, voting. The system fights back. According to the Brennan Center for Justice, 26 states have passed laws in the last 5 years that restrict voting access, especially targeting Black and brown voters, through voter ID laws, reduced polling places, and purges. Although I have listed serious issues in the U.S., awareness is a start, but action is the demand. This is not charity, it's justice. You don't get a gold star for realizing someone else is suffering. You get responsibility. And that means showing up when it's uncomfortable, when it's inconvenient, and especially when it costs you something. You can't just fix what you won't face. You cannot represent the people if you're ignoring the realities that half the people live in. Now, what can you do? You can fund under-resourced schools based on need, not property tax. You can enforce fair housing laws and reinvest in redlining communities. You can strengthen anti-discrimination hiring practices and wage protections. You could push for real criminal justice reform, training, oversight, fair sentencing, and above all, you could acknowledge the issue without defensiveness. You cannot fix what you won't face, and you cannot represent the people if you are ignoring the realities that we live in. If you believe in justice, prove it. If you believe in equality, act like it. If you have power, then use it. Thank you.
To end diversity, equity, and inclusion programs at companies around the country. Fox 5's Duarte Geraldino is live in East Harlem with more on how a day of shopping took on a more profound meaning. Hi, Duarte.
Hey there, Arthur. The Reverend Al Sharpton is trying to send a message to businesses. If you don't support DEI, there are a lot of Americans who won't support you. This is what he did today. He bought $125 gift cards and gave them out to people, brought them over here to this East Harlem Costco and let them shop to send a message that if they support Costco's going to support them.
We will stand with those that stand with us.
Now, Costco says it's sticking with its DEI programs, and Sharpton wants to encourage other businesses to do the same. President Trump ordered all federal DEI staff on paid leave and signed orders to dismantle DEI programs in both government and private businesses. Now, one of those orders requires the government to review DEI policies of public companies, but the National Action Network says it won't back down. They plan to boycott companies that get rid of their diversity, equity, and inclusion programs.